Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, today I have a very important topic to talk to you about as a warning and some situations that can happen when you're traveling, especially if you're women traveling by yourselves, or if you get separated from your party or a group of women on vacation together. I think this is something you need to be aware of, and there are some discrepancies in the story, and it's a very heavy topic. So I just wanted to give you that heads up before we get into it, because yeah, it's something I think we absolutely need to at least talk about. So recently, two women have gone public with the news media and on their social media posts stating that when they were on vacation on a Carnival cruise, I believe it was the Carnival Elation, they went to a very popular destination, Pirates Cove in the Bahamas. They advertise it's like a club area with beach resorts and drinking and fun and etc. like they all do. And they claim that they were drugged and then assaulted. So the way the situation went is they were in the bar, and they're saying that a couple of the employees spiked their drinks and they started feeling woozy and completely out of it on the second drink. By then it would be, of course, too late to do anything about it once you're being affected, and that they were taken to the bathroom and assaulted. Now, the two men have been arrested and they have also been fired from the club, but we're getting pushback from the police, the club itself, and the Bahamian government as well, from the story that the ladies are saying. Now, the club is saying that they are cooperating. They've handed over numerous time-stamped videos to the police who are doing the investigation. However, the follow-up by the police was very, very limited. The police are saying that the women refused to go to the hospital to receive medical, attention. However, they were also being told at the same time that if they go to the hospital, they might not be getting back to their ship on time, and these were travelers who were only traveling with their birth certificates and their driver's license. They weren't traveling with a passport. So which makes it getting back to the US really difficult and a lot of hassle. So they chose not to go to the hospital. They went to back to the ship, and they were looked at by the medical staff on board, who did say that they ran some tests and found that there were types of opioids and that in their system, as well as they examined them and had bruising and things on various parts of their body. And so and then they got back to the States and they made this public, and they've been interviewed, and the police, of course, are basically just saying that the women didn't cooperate too much, but by not going to the hospital, but you can kind of understand why they wouldn't, right? You don't want to be stranded in a country that this kind of stuff just happened to you. You would want to get back to the United States, to your friends, your family. I mean, these are two mothers who were on vacation without their kids when this happened. And I got to say allegedly, because it has to go to court and everything like that. Now, the club is also saying that, despite the evidence on the videotapes that they could see the two men doing, like bringing them to the washroom and that the timelines differ from the story that the ladies are telling, but they fired the two guys anyway. So I know they're trying not to have their club become, a pariah, shall we say, for the tourism industry, saying, hey, don't go to this club because this can happen to you. But I think they would have been better off just coming out with a firm full support of these ladies. If they can see that it happened, they have the video evidence, they had the tapes, they fired the employees. I think it's a better sign on them that, they would come out and be very firm and harsh and everything like that, than coming out and saying that the timeline doesn't quite line up with what the ladies are saying. That sounds like a cop-out from Pirates Cove. And of course, recently, the U.S. State Department issued a level 2 warning in the Bahamas because of a rise in violent crime, not just robberies, but also assaults as well. In fact, Nassau had a warning recently because, since January 1st, there have already been 18 murders in Nassau related to tourism. So that is a warning sign as well, that some things. Of course, the president and everything, Prime Minister Philip Davis, is come out and said that his country is safe and things are wonderful, and they're really alert and very attentive and proactive to ensure that the Bahamas remains a safe and welcoming destination. Meanwhile, the crime is on the rise, the violent crimes are on the rise. And of course, they don't want this kind of advertisement when they rely heavy on tourism. Now, as far as Carnival is concerned, apparently the ladies did not go with a tour. They wandered onto their own. However, there were Carnival tour guests around in that area as well. But, when you're with a group, you tend to recognize people you came with and you kind of keep an eye on each other. When you're on your own, you're on your own. And people might not have known you were from their ship, but not known the situation. For all they know, you might have been a local for all they knew, right? So it makes a big difference. But this, of course, will be investigated, and we'll see what happens in the future. It's going to be a very hard case to prosecute as far as the ladies are concerned. From the United States, on a cruise, foreign government, police didn't act completely in accordance with, doing kits and stuff after the effect and thing. They just said, go to the hospital, and they didn't end up going to the hospital. They'll have what the records are from the ship, but that's many hours after the event. So it just becomes a real mess as far as the prosecution for these ladies. But I'm very glad that they didn't come forward and they gave this warning to people out there, especially ladies traveling in groups and traveling by themselves. It's best to travel in a group, it's best to travel with others, and it's best to let people know where you are and going on at all times. And when you head out, especially if you're heading out to like a bar area and places like that, if you go with a group that's from the ship, it's much better than if you head off on your own, especially if you don't have any, male companions, or you're not in like a group of 15 women like all traveling together. It's much harder to get singled out and separated when you're in a large group like that. But it's a very heavy topic. I'm really sorry that it happened to these ladies. Allegedly, have to say it, but when they say on the film that they can see what happened in leading to the bathroom, and that it makes it very hard to say that this is something that they're making up or anything like that. So I'm going to say I'm sorry this happened to those ladies, and I just wanted to bring it up on the channel to have everybody out there, please be careful and try and stay with a group as much as you can when you're out traveling like that, especially you ladies who are out there traveling on your own or traveling with maybe even one other companion, because there are some horrible people out there, and they're quite willing to take advantage of us whenever possible. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more tips, tricks, and maybe some warnings about possibilities of cruises along with the good stuff, please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.